unstable vital signs, dehydrated. She advises her friends that they transfer her to a hospital, but her friends insisted they treat her on the spot. She proceeds to channel without success. At 4:20 p.m., she presented a tonic seizure generalization clonic lasting less than a minute with sphincter relaxation, to which her friend named Winter Donovan proceeds to dial 911 to request an ambulance, giving rescue breaths, to which 1649, the general practitioner mentions that she had stopped feeling her pulse and started CPR maneuvers with the help of one of her friends until the ambulance arrived, and they continued with the CPR sessions with a total of 14 CPR sessions, 5 doses of adrenaline, and 6 unsuccessful discharges. She had no pupillary reflexes, no asystole pulses, for which reason the general practitioner Carolina Beatriz Ornelas Gutierrez declared her deceased at 5:57 p.m. At 6:35 p.m., a telephone link was made through the C2 to the Early Attention Public Ministries, answering the call by Mr. Julio Daniel Colson Carmana, to which he proceeded to report the aforementioned facts for what the filing instructs of the corresponding records IPH, and to wait for the arrival of the ministerial police. Let me start off first by saying someone is not being truthful. For them to say that they first called at 2:13 requesting consultation service and she was pronounced dead at 5:57, someone, i.e. the doctor, is saying that she was with Shaquella for 3 hours and 45 minutes. Although the autopsy report shows that Shaquella died at 3 o'clock, 15 minutes after sustaining injuries. The autopsy finding, in my opinion, with her passing 15 minutes after her injury, coincide with pieces of the story that was told to her mother, Miss Salamandra. Now, you know, in the midst of a lie, you'll have a little sprinkle of truth in there. And I believe that it was true that they did give her a call. They didn't tell her exactly what happened to her, but they did say something was wrong with her. A few minutes after that phone call, they called and said that the ambulance was outside. And not too long after that, they said that she passed away. This wasn't a 3-hour and 45-minute communication. This, all according to Miss Salamandra, happened pretty quickly. I'm not really believing this police report. I'm going to go with the autopsy finding. I'm also not believing what the police report is saying about her being in a drunken state. I believe because of her injury to her spine and her neck, that possibly caused some issues with her brain having some delayed reaction. Maybe they looked at it as being drunk, but I do not feel like she was in a drunken state. Love to speak to someone in the medical field, and even someone commenting down below. What happens in the event of atlas luxation? What happens to your brain? How does your body and your brain, how does your speech react to atlas luxation? I just don't believe the baby was drunk. And I don't believe a lot of stuff that was in this report. Not only do I not believe everything in this report, there's others that feel the same way. Take a listen to this.
Again tonight with breaking news. New details on Shaquella Robinson's death. A woman died while on vacation in Mexico at the end of October. Her friends returned home, but she didn't. This new information is from Metropolímex, a local news outlet in Mexico. Its article is, of course, written in Spanish, so all information is coming from a translation of that article. But the news outlet says the report from Mexican authorities shows a doctor came to the hotel and tried to revive Shaquella around 3:15 p.m. on October 29th. Her friends told the doctor she drank a lot of alcohol. The article goes on to say that the doctor advised her friends to take her to a clinic, but they refused and requested she be treated on site. Well, 2 hours later, the doctor says that she had a seizure and a friend called 911. Her breathing and pulse stopped, so the doctor tried to revive her, and the article says she was pronounced dead just before 6 o'clock that night. Now, the report lists cardiopulmonary arrest as the reason police were called. Metropolímex also reports the FBI is investigating the omission of information from authorities and doctors because the official autopsy report, well, it doesn't match the police report. As you might know, it has been widely reported across America now. The autopsy says her cause of death was a spinal cord injury.
And the current people are under investigation. Caroline Beatriz, who was the doctor at the American Medical Center, that's the doctor who supposedly treated Shaquella. The Los Cabos municipal police officers, Omar, they don't have his last name, and David, they don't have his last name. I'll tell you about them in a minute. And the agent of the public ministry of the PGJE, Julio Daniel, they don't have his last name. I gave that to you earlier. It says they all lied. The death of the young American, according to a copy of a police report, was reported 3 hours after the femicide around 6 o'clock p.m. on October 29th, when the agents of the Los Cabos Municipal Police arrived as first responders Omar and David aboard the DS-777 patrol car were received by the doctor from the American Medical Center Clinic, Caroline Beatrice, reporting that at 2:13 p.m. they had requested the consultation service for the young Shaquella Bernada Robinson. I reviewed the Mexican website Metropolimix that I did have to translate into English. There's a whole conspiracy and a whole bunch of lies going on. Now, according to the investigative reporter I spoke to earlier this morning, Mr. Geraldo, the police had a chance to arrest each and every one of the unlucky Cabo Six. And I said, why didn't they do so? I said, do you have any idea why the police would cover up these individuals from another country? He said, and I quote, a police source tells me that it was possibly because the agents who processed the crime scene kept $17,000 that Shaquella brought in her luggage. Possibly took $17,000 of this baby's money. Are you serious? Not only that, he says Shaquella's murder had been hidden by the Mexican government so as not to affect the image of the tourist destination of Los Cabos. Right now, I'm taking this murder very personally. For one, she's from Charlotte, North Carolina, my hometown. For two, she's been done wrong by her friends that she trusted. And for three, the police and the Mexican government are doing her wrong. They stole her money. What is going on here? We need to get justice. She's done dirty in life. She's done dirty in death. At what point do we get her justice? According to the news in Charlotte, the police have been knocking on doors looking for a few of the unlucky Cabo Six. They have not been able to locate anyone at this point. I called the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department to search for warrants on each one of the unlucky six, and unfortunately, they were not able to find a warrant, but he did tell me this. They wouldn't be wanted by the Charlotte-Mecklenburg City Police. I was told that if the police are knocking on their door, they just want to talk to them. The people that would actually be looking for them and have warrants for their arrest would be the feds. So right now, you unlucky six, Khalil Cook, Winter Donovan, Elise Hyatt, Dejanay Jackson, Nazir Wiggins, Malik Dyer, y'all all need to go to the police because they're looking for you. If you have a name to clear, then clear it. If you didn't do anything, then talk to the police and let them know. Because right now, once the Mexican government gets a hold of y'all, right now, y'all have messed up their tourist money. Y'all got all eyes on them, and it's not looking good for them at all. So if it's not looking good for them, they're going to make sure it's not any good for y'all. And according to the report, Dejanay, they have you listed as the person that did it. And not only do they have you listed as the person that did it, but they still have you listed as a transgender, even though we know you are not. So ain't no telling what jail they gonna put you in. Y'all might want to go and clear your name up. I hope all of you get what you deserve. I am happy to learn that you did not just leave her there for dead. Y'all did make a call and did try to get her help. Although y'all did put her in that situation, I am glad that she did not sit there and just suffer. She did have someone actually trying to help her from what the report says, but although the report may be off, we don't know. They're doing a full investigation. The police are under investigation. The doctor is under investigation. The minister is under investigation. And the unlucky six, they are looking for all of y'all. They are looking at everything you do. He was given, and come to find out, Shaquella passed away from severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation. Shaquella had been attacked. But by whom? A video surfaced of Shaquella being attacked by Dejanay Jackson, but in that video, she was still moving. Later, it was said that another video is available, but not currently out, showing Winter Donovan grabbing Shaquella by her throat and body slamming her. Shaquella is said to not move again after this attack. Well, I have the police report received by investigative reporter Geraldo Zuniga, and I actually spoke to him in length this morning. His English is just as bad as my Spanish. I wanted him to give us an interview, but unfortunately we won't be able to do that. But he did give me permission to discuss what he and I discussed today. So let's get into this police report that I had translated from Spanish to English, and then we'll get into some more. It starts off by saying police intervention, reason, deceased person, and it categorizes it as cardiopulmonary arrest. Date, Friday, October 29, 2022. Hour of knowledge, 5 o'clock p.m. Arrival time, 5:25 p.m. Place of intervention, Puerto Los Cabos, Founder Section, Lot 32, Street, Padre Kino. Okay, and they said the reporting data, name, Winter Essence Donovan, age 25, original, North Carolina, relationship, friend. Then they get the phone number, which I'm not going to give you that. Details of the deceased person, name, Shaquella Bernada Robinson, age 25, date of birth, January 9th, 1997, origin, USA, North Carolina. Facts. In 5 o'clock p.m. of the day of the month of the current year, when we were on surveillance and crime prevention tours, he boarded the official unit DST 777. A report was received via radio from C2 where he communicated that in the
field office has officially opened an investigation into the death of a woman on vacation in Cabo, Mexico back in October. Now, Queen City News first brought you the story about Shaquella Robinson's mysterious death last week. As anchor Morgan Francis reports, police investigating the case are sharing what they've discovered so far.
Thursday, Mexican authorities told Queen City News Shaquella Robinson's friends lied to them about what happened to her prior to her untimely death on October 29th. An officer investigating the case says they interviewed two friends at the villa in Cabo who said Shaquella Robinson had alcohol poisoning. The same story her family says they told them.
They said she wasn't feeling well. She had alcohol poisoning. They couldn't get a pulse.
It wasn't until her autopsy came back that Mexican police discovered she had a severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation, which is instability in the uppermost vertebrae. They also didn't see this video showing Robinson get violently assaulted until Wednesday. For that reason, their investigation is still open, and they're looking into her death.
There's a huge financial incentive to keep Cabo open and to keep people feeling safe. So to the extent they can find, prosecute, incarcerate the people that did this, in my opinion, they're going to try to do it.
Kurt Kearns is an international attorney with experience litigating international crimes and investigations. Some of what he has to say might not be the most promising news.
It's a sovereign state. So that's the first misunderstanding a lot of people have is that, hey, man, if I'm an American and I'm in trouble somewhere, boy, they'll come to my rescue. And the reality is not unless there's a really big interest internationally in coming to your rescue, because they will not upset international relations with a sovereign nation just to help out.
The police officer investigating the case tells Queen City News if they find evidence that leads to an arrest, they have authority to bring the group back to Mexico and, quote, they will have to answer to Mexican law. While the FBI and U.S. State Department say it's not their jurisdiction, it doesn't mean they can't investigate either.
Upon invitation, FBI can come in and assist. Upon, invitation, the State Department can get more and more involved, but it's only upon invitation, i.e., do they want us there?
That was Morgan Francis reporting. Police again are urging anyone with information to contact the local FBI office.
Pretty much accept them as real women and stuff like that. And then now she's saying one of her own, women are feeling slighted, So in the comments, people are saying, one of her own. I thought trans women were women, right? I get not demonizing trans women, that's fair, but folks sure do pick and choose when they want to be identified with us, quote unquote. Let's focus on getting justice for the young woman who lost her life, no matter who was responsible. Someone else said, one of her own. She met a woman that was born a woman. Baby, these people kill me. Someone else said, the fact that the LGBT and trans community always got to make things about themselves is really annoying. Like, how are you going to say one of your own, quote unquote, when you're a trans trying to be a woman? To F. And then if a woman beat the ish out of a trans, what are you going to say? It's not fair. Y'all be losing me for real. Someone else said, first off, how will the F she know if the trans did it or not, as if she was there? Why the F would you make this a situation about you and your community? It's so unsensitive. Just because somebody said a trans did it, what the F that got to do with you? That person did it. The F, nobody is blaming the whole community. Someone else said, please, we don't care whether it was trans or not. We want justice. Let's focus solely on the problem at hand. Thanks. Someone else said, just because someone mentioned trans doesn't mean all y'all. Like, at the end of the day, that's at least the least of somebody's concerns right now. Y'all be reaching with this. It's just getting annoying. Someone, let's see. Another commenter said, one of her own. Don't you want to be us? It don't make sense how you got animosity towards women when you're trying to be us. Someone else said, she could have just said by another woman. It's starting to feel like they hate us for being natural-born women. This is very distasteful, and who made you the spokesperson? Someone said, the alphabet community will find a way to take the spotlight. Someone else said, LMAO, she said one of her own as if we are bred. I'm disgusted. Focus on the true problem here. This is why people at times find it hard to relate and empathize with the community. It's not about this. Someone said one of her own as if it's a natural-born woman is a type of transgression, LMAO. One of her own, and this is why I'm, never mind, justice for Shaquella Robinson. It don't matter. There were 4 other people there that could have stopped her, and they just watched her get taken out.